We are live. This is Avatar Legends, Episode 7, The Spurned Child. Time for the recap. It's been like 6 weeks since we've played. So, if anybody is feeling brave and wants to either speak from memory or from the summary that I sent out.
Let's see here. From my notes, it says at Taka's and the sky bison, Gage's old companion, is peeking through the window. Find Wan Shitong's library. Ura has been to the library. It's partially sunken in a swamp. It's a grand building. But I'm sure Ura didn't remember being at the library, but he was there.
I was pretty sure I'd been there, but that was about it.
Okay. Let's see. We collected books from the mayor, I guess, because we were going to stick them in the library and switch out the books that were in the library.
Yep. Yeah, you guys had to collect. You were told by Taka that you had to have some sort of offering of knowledge in
Right.
order to gain access to the library. Um, so you went to the mayor's to get books because he had a bookshelf with some. You picked out a couple titles on Fire Nation history.
Okay. And then I studied the mayor's radio and made a homemade Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Pop. And then we entered the spirit world, and I gave it to the massive owl-like spirit.
Really? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
3.
And you thought that because he's an owl like the advertisement, I'm guessing.
Correct.
It was
Instantly what I thought of.
that was pretty great.
I don't know how far we got in the library.
You so uh so you as far as in the library, you everybody offered knowledge except Zhizhen, who was going to offer who his offering was an incomplete story of his life and experiences. Um, and he failed his check, and he failed the check, and he didn't fail, but he didn't get as good as he needed to, and so Wanji Tong was going to accept his offer, but he had to complete it first. So he went to a desk and is currently furiously scribbling to complete his life story. And he might be there a while.
In order to really complete his life story, the final sentence is, "And now I kill myself." I mean, seriously, how otherwise do you actually write a complete life story? Reach in from the afterlife or whatever.
Well, Jijin started it. He basically started it like an hour or so before they got into the spirit world, so it was very incomplete. But then anyway, I'm gonna back up a little bit. So you did go to you started off at Taka's and a kind of an important point that came up was that Nuala and Gage were talking, and she mentioned that she mentioned that she has a hunch that there's a dark spirit, like a kind of a more ancient dark spirit who might be causing these portals or having some sort of effect on the world. And she suggested going to the spirit library because the great spirit library is really the only place where like that level of ancient knowledge is stored. And if this is a spirit that has no one in the Air Nation at least remembers or knows what this spirit is, if it exists, but there may be answers at the library because they have the catalog of all that. So that's how going to the library, kind of that conversation got kickstarted. And then, so Gage convinced everybody to maybe go to their certain death into the spirit world. Then Taka came out of his trance, where he was in the spirit world speaking with his contemporaries and superiors of the Red Lotus, and he mentioned that he was told to not that he was given the orders that there should be no interference with any of the dark spirit activities, which did not sit well. And he effectively he showed that he really didn't care about the townspeople, whereas at least Gage was very adamantly pro Naupai citizens, trying to save them from the corrupt government. And so basically that caused a rift with the Red Lotus. So you guys put in your informal or formal resignation. Taka promised that he wasn't really thrilled about the order either, but he doesn't really feel like he's in power. He didn't feel like he had a whole lot of wiggle room to really go against go against the grain, so to speak. So he promised that he wouldn't. He mentioned that he wouldn't at least like rat you out, and you can just go and kind of forget that this whole thing happened. Then you headed to the mayor's to get books. Taka also was helping a little bit. He suggested that any sort of technology would be new information for the library. So any sort of technical gadgets that would be of interest and could be relevant. What else? Oh,
there was consideration of stealing the radio, but it was a bit too large, I think.
Yeah. It was large.
That's when the candy was made, and we got some books.
Exactly. And then Zhizhen got a gorilla hair companion who was with you at the library.
That's right.
Gage left Tycho, his sky bison, in the care of the mayor. So it just kind of dropped them off. And it's like, here, gotta go. Pick him up later, and didn't really give him a chance to argue back.
I expect to hear all about how many times he tried to write him.
He's just probably snoring on his roof, actually. And now nobody in that house can sleep. Gage went through the spirit portal first, and you stepped into you stepped into a green prairie with a green prairie where the grasses are swinging, waving in the wind, and you see a lot of stone outcroppings and like two mountain ranges in the distance with the numbers of rivers and lakes, and there's kind of ethereal dust motes floating in the air. It's not actual dust; it passes right through you, but giving this whole mystical feel. You did see on that side of the spirit portal on the material world side, there was black lotuses that the portal came out of. On the spirit world, you did see black lotuses around the portal, but they just appeared like normal flowers. Ura was your guide to the spirit library, and you basically kind of transported through there, kind of like you didn't move, but the world moved around you as you kind of stretched into the spirit library. Almost like Ura has done it before, because it was so perfectly done. You didn't even get noticed by anybody. So you had some period of time where you just kind of were in a wing of the library that looked like this. Like that. So you arrived there. It was dead quiet, and you started looking around, seeing if you could find somebody. You found a fox, who when they saw Ura saw the fox, and when the fox saw Ura, it ran away.
I didn't make the connection. I just thought it was a fox. It was a scaredy cat, you know?
Yeah. Eventually, Wan Shi Tong came.
I'm pretty intimidating.
And I don't remember if he explained, but he would explain that the helpers of the library, the workers, the people, the knowledge keepers are all foxes. And so it's not abnormal to see foxes kind of around the libraries of books, because they're effectively the custodians. So you guys offered your gifts. Ura offered 2 books. Sakshik offered the Tootsie Pop.
And whatever else I could give. Whenever he told me about what I did last time, I'm like, oh shit. How can I help?
Yeah. He started so Wan Shi Tong started scolding Ura before, because last time he was at the spirit library, him and his party burned down one of the wing on Fire Nation history, and Ura does not remember. He does not like the memories of that are very fuzzy, if not missing.
Yeah, how convenient.
Pre-spirit, pre getting trapped in the spirit world. So he didn't remember that, but he learned that, and what else? He mentioned something that let's see. Yeah, he specifically to Ura, because of his past, said no firebending. Forbid firebending in the library.
What a word,
Because you guys went through a portal, you have access to your any bending abilities that you have. the session ended, or the episode ended, where a knowledge keeper, one of the foxes, had a fairly worn book in its mouth, and it approached you, and it handed it to you guys, and on the front cover you opened the front cover, which was blank, and on the title page it was written Diary of Yun, friend of Kyoshi. So that's where we pick it up. So you are in the spirit library, and I have a little map. I put together a map, and you're up in the northeast corner, and you are holding this book that was just given to you by the fox, and Wan Shi Tong mentioned that he could provide information. He didn't remember off the top of his head anything about dark spirits that create portals, but he could have the resources sent to you where you could find the answer. And so that's what prompted this fox to approach, or the knowledge keeper to approach you.
Okay.
Well, how do we use them?
So you open up the book and you see you open up the book and you get to read some fun things. So everybody should have access to this. But the first let's see. The first entry you see is called Jianzu's Betrayal. Let's see if I can share this.
I found it.
There we go.
Dear diary.
My anxieties eat at me tonight. I find sleep to be an elusive demon. I've spent my life thinking that I was Kuruk's successor as Avatar, but the dream has been shattered. My master and loyal friend Jianzu sedated Kyoshi and I to take us to the Spirit Ankou to determine once and for all who the real Avatar is. It's not me. I managed to use my training to wear out the effects of the sedative sooner than Jianzu anticipated, which allowed me to witness the exchange. Before I could move or call out, Jianzu quickly fled with Kyoshi, leaving me to Ankou. In an instant, we were both transported into the spirit world. He was far more dangerous than I could have possibly ever conceived. His gaze pierced through my soul and left me feeling naked, as if all my insecurities laid bare. Like muscle memory, I recalled Jianzu's training and focused my mind. I imagined my will as if it were a stone unyielding, and my worries evaporated. I beseeched Ankou to provide me with training. Seeing as he had far more to offer than Jianzu, it only makes sense that to make a last-ditch effort to stay alive. He contemplated this, or at least appeared to contemplate it as it dimmed and brightened erratically. Eventually it agreed. I'm laying awake in the spirit world wondering whether I did the right thing. Did I even have a choice? I feel betrayed. I hope Kyoshi got away from that monster Jianzu. We've been friends since we were children, and she's always been my stone, so I'm sure she can take care of herself. Maybe I can convince Ankou to help me seek revenge. He told me he needs souls, and I think I know just the one. and you flip a couple more pages, and you flip a couple more pages, and you come upon an entry titled "The Consumed Light." And this one's a little bit longer. I find myself in the eerie silence that follows the unimaginable act. I can hardly fathom the magnitude of what I've done. Devouring Father Ankou's eye has left me changed in ways I could have never anticipated. As I sit here, I shall recount the haunting after effects that now plague my existence. The moment I devoured the eye, an overwhelming rush of sensations coursed through my body. It was as if a bolt of lightning had struck me, searing my very soul. The world around me seemed to blur, and for an instant, I felt as though I had become one with the cosmos. I saw visions, vivid, kaleidoscopic images that danced before my eyes, as if I was seeing thousands of pictures of the world all at once. I saw future incarnations of the Avatar, an air nomad child all alone, an impatient member of the water tribe, a warrior bending metal, which should be impossible, and more. The forms change, but they're doomed to fight the same hopeless battle against the forces of the world. I saw Kyoshi, grifting humble Earth Kingdom folk in Zhaopei. I saw Jianzu, my mentor and tormentor's lifeless body, with me standing over it, smiling. It's as if I've tapped into the secrets of the universe, some knowledge beyond comprehension. But as quickly as they came, they faded, leaving me gasping for breath. The pain was excruciating, a torment that seemed to emanate from the depths of my being. I could hear the cacophony of voices, whispers that echoed in the recesses of my mind. They spoke in languages I could not understand, conveying cryptic messages that sent shivers down my spine. I'm plagued by relentless insomnia, unable to find solace in the embrace of sleep. Instead, I find myself wandering through the darkness of night, searching for answers that remain tantalizingly out of reach. Perhaps the most disconcerting of all is the sense of being watched. I can feel eyes upon me, unseen and unrelenting. Shadows seem to move in the periphery of my vision. I catch glimpses of figures that vanish when I turn to look. It's as if though I have invited the gaze of something ancient and malevolent into my life, and it watches me with a hunger that chills me to the bone. In my quest for knowledge, I ventured to forbidden depths and consulted texts that should have never seen the light of day. I seek to understand the true nature of the eye I've devoured and the entity known as Ankou. Yet, with each revelation, I'm drawn deeper into the web of darkness and mystery, a labyrinth from which there's no escape. I snuck into the Great Spirit Library in search of answers, but was chased out by its keeper. It must have known that I've been tainted. Everyone knows. The aftermath of devouring Ankou's eye has left me teetering on the precipice of madness, my sanity slipping away like grains of sand through my fingers. I fear that I may have unlocked a door that it cannot close, one that threatens to consume me entirely. I do not know what lies ahead, but can only hope that I may find a way to navigate the treacherous waters. The eye has forever altered the course of my existence, and now I must confront the consequences of my insatiable curiosity. Yun.
I just look at Ura. Can you give any insight on this? You were probably there when it happened.
Is that your close to whenever I was around?
No, this is actually, you were around at like 0. Actually, you were like at 100 AG. So this is like 300 years or so before Ura.
I just don't. Nope, this isn't me. This is before my time.
So, but you would know. It talks about Avatar Kyoshi. She was the Avatar. She was 2 avatars ago, effectively, 3 avatars.
From my perspective.
From your perspective.
From before.
From your perspective, it was 2 avatars ago. So
Got
there
it.
was Kyoshi, then Roku, then Aang, and then the current avatar, Korra.
Right.
So, when you were alive, like Aang, when you were first alive, like Aang just came out of the iceberg. So you would the avatar that you'd be familiar with was Aang, and so it was 2 before that. So,
yeah,
you know,
I wasn't alive. I wasn't alive just then. I know I'm old.
And just as a note, A, G, B, and G, like BG stands for before genocide. So like in the years start being counted after the air nomads were completely wiped out, which was 100 years or so before Uhura.
Okay.
And what is the current year?
It is 176. 176 AG.
Okay.
So yeah, this was a while ago. And you flip a few more pages. So as you're flipping through the book, like the writing is growing more and more erratic. Like it started off like nice and like finally like the typography was kind of tight and well consistent. And as it progresses through, you see the some of the flourishes start to be wider, and larger, and words are taking up more space, and there's just kind of more haste written to it. But you're flipping through, and another entry. Another entry kind of sticks out to you. Seeing the name Kyoshi, you see one that's titled "Reconnecting with Kyoshi."
Did you say that Kyoshi was the first avatar?
She is not the first avatar, but she's from.
He is an avatar.
She is an avatar. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
They reincarnate. So it's generally known that avatars reincarnate. Like as soon as one dies, another one is born in a different nation. So there's like a series of nations that the avatar will always rotate between. So like, if when the current avatar, which is born from the Water Nation, dies, the next avatar will be an Earth born in the Earth Kingdom.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Do they know how to predict where it's happening? Where it's going to happen?
They know which nation it'll be born to, but they don't know where in the nation it'll be. So when an avatar dies, it becomes a big event, because now like everybody's trying to find out where the next avatar is. So like both enemies and allies. So it kind of leads to like a witch hunt of sorts.
Avatar hunt. But they're mostly venerated, right? So what they're really doing is trying to get hold of him to shape his future, right?
Yeah. a lot of people a lot of people support the Avatar, but there are people that do not. Um, you know, the Avatar is their general role in the world is to provide balance and to make sure that people get along. But people who, if people are in positions of power, they're not really looking for balance. They're looking to maintain power, and the Avatar can be a threat to that. Um, so they can attract quite a bit of fire from all sides. So you read, you come across this third, um, third entry, and this is the last entry in the book. Marked June 28th, 2095 BG. I've made contact with Avatar Kyoshi and invited her to a nice dinner at the Avatar Mansion in Yokoya. We're having dumplings and crab over rice. I've also managed to produce a bottle of Jiaolai, all the way from North Chongling on Shuhan Island. Most of the wineries have been ravaged by the Camellia Peony War, but fortunately I've pulled a string or two to get one. The last time I saw Kyoshi was when I was about to beat Hairan in a game of Pai Shou. She entered the room right before I pulled off the singing dagger and almost managed to secure victory. I can see the pieces forming together now into the dagger that pierced Hairan's throat. And everybody would know, like your characters would know, that Pai Shou is like a game that a lot of people play. It's like effectively like a board game, like chess. It's modeled after Go, but it's played with like round stones. So killing your opponent is definitely not part of the game.
Not with that attitude.
She managed to burn me pretty good before I leapt out the window and dashed down the street. I waited, but she didn't follow. Pity. She has managed to connect to me by connecting with Ankou. While our relationship has had its rocky moments, I've learned to harness his power, and I can travel to and from the spirit world at will. This is beyond the air nomads and even the most powerful avatars. If anything, this makes me the most powerful being alive. She must know. The world is full of liars and usurpers, and they simply must be snuffed out. Kyoshi's duty as Avatar is to maintain balance, and such balance is impossible with the deceitful around. I've been on my crusade for quite some time now. Each person, whether they be great or insignificant, has exchanged their life for my forgiveness. By all accounts, it's a good deal on their part, because it could be so much worse. I expect Kyoshi to understand. If not, I doubt there's much she could do to stop me, even as the Avatar. At Ankou's request, we paid a visit to his son Ko, widely known as Ko the Face Stealer. They've always disliked each other, so much that they've grown very distant. You see, Ko set a terrible precedent by allowing any human to approach him. Ankou believes that spirits of our lineage should not brook just any discourse with humans. I tend to agree with them. After all, it's my exceptional nature which gave Ankou the initial motivation to take me in. Sure, I had to do a bit of fair convincing, but he eventually relented, presumably because he eventually grasped that I'm no mere human. I am Yun. Even though I'm not the Avatar, I'm the best earthbender alive. Anyway, Ankou sometimes drops by Ko's to mock him and then leave. This past time, though, we managed to be forcefully evicted. We opened up a portal into Ko's domain, and as soon as we saw him, there was a flash and we were back in the Earth Kingdom. It was bizarre. It was as if he figured out a way to disrupt our ability to maintain the connection. Unfortunately, to keep the portal open. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, so we'll just have to go back another day and berate him for being a disgraceful excuse for a spirit. Kyoshi will be here in an hour, and I still have a few things to take care of, so it's time to go. Yours truly, Yun.
Wow. Arrogant murder hobo right there. People are
Let me
better
hear.
off. people are better off for me having killed them, and I know better than, this other ancient spirit where previously. Wow.
Wasn't Ko the face stealer mentioned before?
He was. Um, Zhizhen had a vision back when the night that the mark appeared in Nalpai, when it was being drawn by one of the platypus bears, he reached out and touched a claw to Zhizhen's head, and uh, he saw he saw among other things uh, a like a like being in a dark forest with this large tree that has that made this arch that like made this arch over like a dark cave. Coming out of the cave was the face. Well, it was a monkey that was missing its face, and coming from the darkness, he heard the voice. It's coming. Um, and I think your characters did put together that did know like that Ko the Face Stealer is somewhat of a well-known spirit because there's been documented encounters with different avatars. Um, so Gage would have shared that information that he tends to steal faces of people that come to visit him. So yeah, you've heard Ko before, and like it came up in the context of the mark. And Russell, for your benefit, this is the mark. There was a mark that the characters that everybody would see. So this was scratched into the central square of Nalpai, and like from this mark of this eye mark, this is where a spirit portal came out of it. Effectively, black lotus flowers grew around the mark, and then it turned into a spirit portal.
Yep. I did read the summaries.
Okay.
Now, let me ask a mechanical question, though. It seems like there are two ways to get to the spirit world. One is mentally, your body's still in the world, but your mind's wandering around in the spirit world. And the other way is to do so physically. Um, so when you say like the spirit portal in the square, is that a mental portal or a physical one?
It's a physical portal.
Okay.
So and this would be generally known, like that most people don't have the ability to just walk into to mentally transport themselves to the spirit world. It's typically a hallmark like that the air nomads can do or the air nation because they tend to have to be closer with spirits and to the spiritual nature of existence. But that's not to say that other people can't do it. It's just most common with airbenders and people of the air nation.
Okay.
So
does the symbol, that glyph, show up in any of these writings or anything like that?
yeah, as you're flipping through Yoon's diary, you see like it's scrawled like in the margins, at various places, kind of erratically. Um, you would also pass a couple pages where it's the full page is just that mark or just that symbol.
Any writing regarding it?
it doesn't show. It doesn't appear until the after the first entry you read. So like before the entries that the entries that you kind of caught your eye. The writing is about more mundane mundane aspects like hopes and dreams, and the goings of the day, what's going on, like
The barber fucked my hair today.
yeah. um, after the actually it's after the second one with the consumed light. That's when you start seeing like this eye kind of being scrawled all over the place.
Mm.
And then Ankou was some spirit then, right? That's who he was sort of conversing with and got knowledge from.
Yeah, it comes so based on the writings, it seemed it come Ankou is Ankou is Ankou and Yoon were Ankou and Yoon basically they got find the right way to say this. So Ankou and Yoon they got trapped with each other. Um, so basically Ankou was consulted with by Jianzu to figure out who the real Avatar was, whether it was Yoon or Kyoshi. And then Ankou said it was Kyoshi, and then Jianzu took her and went away. He then got Yoon was then left sedated with Ankou, and he took them both to the spirit world. And it sounded like that and then Ankou basically took him under his wing. um, and then he goes on in the consumed light where he ate he ate Ankou. Like Ankou is an eye, and he ingested him.
Is this metaphorical or allegorical or literal?
You can't tell based off the text.
Okay. So what you're saying is they didn't know who the real Avatar was, and he was supposed to decipher who that was.
Yeah, this spirit was Ankou was supposed to know because Ankou is ancient and
Okay.
had some sort of ability to like see through to see the distinct spiritual nature of the Avatar.
Okay. So one person said, "Hey, guess what? I'm the new Avatar," and then somebody else said, "No, I don't think so. I'm the new Avatar."
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and then the last entry talks about proposed dinner plans, and then it's a little bit more straightforward, but clearly more erratic. Like the script on that one is very sprawling. Um,
Like frantic.
yeah, like frantic.
So
Yeah,
do we
like I
think?
said, pure murder hobo. Each person, whether they be great or insignificant, has exchanged their life for my forgiveness. In other words, he's killed them all. Great. Stab, stab, stab. I forgive you for getting in my way, I mean.
Um, uh, around so as you're kind of pouring through this book, you uh, you hear um, what sounds like a thud. That sounds like it's coming from the archive from from the west of where you're at. Sounds like it's coming from a couple shelves down, and you hear a solid thud and then a kind of a groan.
To
Okay.
the
Where's
to the
where's
west, you said?
Aura? Is he right near the here?
Who? Aura?
Yeah. I guess.
Aura. Okay, I didn't know if he had wandered off looking for
Oh, I was about
a
to.
bathroom, looking for a bathroom or something. He's got to pee like every 15 minutes.
Yeah. Sure.
Old bladder syndrome.
Yeah. Do they account for that in this library? Do they have very many physical guests here? Or do I got to go outside and find a bush?
You can't go outside. I mean, I
Well,
guess you could.
there's probably lots of like little trees and stuff planted in the library. They got all these foxes working. They got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, if they're spirits, then maybe not.
I'd say
Oh, true.
there's probably you would find plants around.
Literally watering the plants.
Got it.
There might be some alcoves that you could like duck in.
We read the last passage like, interesting. I gotta go water the plants. Hold on. I'll just find the nearest thing I can go.
So, you start walking down, and you spot a plant, and as you look to your left,
I ask if it's alive first, just in fucking case. Like, are you gonna talk to me? Hello?
It's
You
gonna be
there?
awkward.
Okay, cool.
it does not respond.
Okay, cool.
But as you're peeing on the plant, you hear the groan behind you, and you turn to look, and you see somebody
The floor.
somebody straight on their back, and that's your character, Russell. So you can describe what.
All right, I couldn't really find. I'm not good with images. Couldn't really find a picture of that quick, but
1 second, I'll help you.
that's okay. That's okay. I gotta check my stash.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Patting myself down for my stash. Oh, there it is. Hey, you look pretty old. You work around here?
No.
Huh.
It's like help him to his feet if he hasn't gotten up yet.
Okay.
Dust him off.
He's a young guy in sort of commoner clothes. He looks a little scruffy, if you will, and you'll notice that when you're helping him up that A, not only does he smell like alcohol, but B, his quote unquote stash that he checked was a bag with you're hearing clinking sounds from it, and he's sitting here fishing in it, going, "Oh, good, yeah, good. The Wushan survived. Tastes like battery acid, but wow, how's a kick? Hi, I'm Yayo. Nice to meet you. What's going on?
Yayo?
Yayo.
All right.
You know,
Name
Dayo.
Zora.
What?
Name Zora. San Virago.
Laura, yeah.
Hey, how'd you get in? You figured it out? Apparently, there's no doors here, so you just kind of have to know how to get in.
Well, actually, let's see. I know we talked over this, Dustin, but you'll have to refresh my memory on that one.
Yeah. So yeah, you. I'll message you. Over Foundry.
Okay. When am I? where am I going to see this pop up?
In the chat window.
Chat messages. Okay. I'm not seeing anything there.
Yeah, I was typing it. Now,
There
now
it
I see
is. It's just slow. All right. Okay. Right. I thought you were going. I thought you were going to nix that method. You said it had to be planned, but you went with it. Okay. Cool. Like so. Yayo goes. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I was poking around. I was poking around some place with a lot of guards, but I was drunk, so I don't know what happened after that. Where am I?
Well, you're in the spirit world. Does that sound accurate to you?
Like I said, I was just poking around a place with a lot of guards, but it was in the real world, I guess. But okay, I'm in the spirit world. I was expecting like more animals and trees and stuff, not a library.
Did you walk in towards a light, or?
Yes, you did. Yeah,
Well,
you
usually it's more like running away, but you know how that goes.
No. But okay.
Away from trouble before in your life, old man?
Usually I am the trouble.
Uh,
They're running away from him.
Me and this old library, we have a history. It's like pat the walls. That scorch mark right there.
that was a good year.
I don't remember it.
Maybe so this will make more sense with the little hair of the dog, and he pulls out a bottle from his little sack and chugs back a bit and recaps it. Here, you want some?
Yeah.
Cheap sake, basically. The no-name stuff that sell from they sell at the bottom of the barrel.
I will make sure I'm like aimed like away from any books, just in case a belch happens and there's a little bit of fire. Okay. Just in case. These high octane drinks,
Yeah, that's a good call. We're gonna share some of his sake?
I mean,
Didn't you have a gourd? You had a gourd.
I had a gourd. I don't know if my sake that I had would compare to this. I offer you some of mine, but I think yours is stronger.
Really? Yeah. Call me a connoisseur. I'm always up for a new drink. Mind if I take a whiff?
Have at it.
All right. I knocked back a good slug of his. What am I tasting, or do I want to know?
Small town wine.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
no, my stuff was cheap sake.
But it was the mayor's wine, so there was that. So he might have imported it. Yeah, from the city.
Good, but small town. Gotcha. Oh, this is pretty good, actually. Thanks. I'll hand his gourd back. It's like,
Exchange. Yeah.
yep. So, Spirit world, eh? Library. Wow. So what do you do around here?
Research at the moment.
Oh, oh.
It's a bit complicated. I can only grasp so much. This old brain of mine. Plus, I'm a bit out of time.
I tell you what, you mind if I hang out until I figure out what else is going on?
Sure, you want to help us research how to stop spirits from invading?
Oh crap! You guys are working on that nastiness I'm hearing rumors about. Bunch of dark spirits tearing up the place. You guys working on that?
Or one of the. I'm sure there's others who are looking into it. But yeah.
Oh man, no, that's one of the things I wanted to check out. Maybe I could help you guys out.
Well, come check out this diary.
Look at this shit.
You know any drinking songs?
This guy starts out normal. Well, okay, a little crazy, but man, he's gone full murder. I mean, he's gone full murder there at the end, talking about killing people and convincing the Avatar that, what he's doing is perfect and right. Man, you're not working with him, are you?
Who? This guy? We don't know this guy. We just found his diary here. Hello, Sakcha. This is a new friend.
I said you go off to pee and you. Is that
What
the
can I
noise
say?
I heard?
What can I say? I'm a charismatic man.
Yeah, I just walked up here, sort of. Well, maybe fell in here. I don't know.
I think he's a
So,
thief.
and scruffy, long-haired guy, hair tied back in a ponytail and workman's clothes with a small sack, and you're hearing the sort of thing shifting in the sack. Not by themselves, but obviously got some sort of load in the sack. He's like, your friend here tells me you're looking into those dark spirits that are tearing up everything. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's really bogging down the common man. It's not like they don't have. It's not like the rulers don't do that enough. But with the dark spirits kicking them out of their homes, it's terrible. I'd be happy to help you find a solution to that. I'm not much of a researcher.
Yeah, as I step close, I'm sure I can smell alcohol.
Yep,
Yeah,
you can smell alcohol.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be that close.
Well, I guess you keep morale up.
Oh yeah, you want some? Here.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, more for me then.
Gord.
Oh, I need to. I'm a little out of it right now. I need to try to clear this up. So he's gonna try to refresh himself.
All right, make a rely on your skills and training check. So that is going to be a focus check.
Focus. Let's see. I don't think this guy's focus is so hot. No, it's flat. So it's 0. And I roll 2d6, right?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Yeah. You. Nice. So 2d6.
That would be a 6 is not a success.
You got. Do you have a plus 0?
Yep, I have a plus 0.
Yeah. So. Hold on a sec.
You guys can see what I roll, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay.
All right. So uh, you so you're trying to clear your head um, the way that you know how. So you're channeling. So what does that look like actually? Like, because this is something that presumably Yeo does somewhat frequently.
It's his master technique.
Yeah.
So what he's actually trying to do is, um, kick, kick the hangover out of his body effectively. So what you see is, um, it's essentially like somebody splashing their face to refresh. You see him do the gesture, but as he does the gesture, water appears on his hands and he splashes his face and it splashes off and vanishes as it goes away. And then he sort of rubs his face and goes, huh, oh, must have been on a real bender. That didn't work so well.
So based on that, is Yeo a happy drunk or an angry drunk or a sobbing drunk?
Loud,
A loud drunk.
preachy.
So uh, uh, based off of it not working, and you splash it, and like now you just met these new people, and Yeo's feeling self conscious, and feeling a little insecure. um,
Okay.
so yeah, take the insecure condition.
Okay. Let's see. Afraid, insecure. Okay. Ooh, to clear. Take a foolhardy action without talking to your companions. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. Okay.
So you're sitting there. You're reading through you're paging through the diary, looking through it, and uh, you after maybe an hour or so, um, you know you would after an hour or so you would hear the sound of footsteps coming in your direction. It sounds like they're coming away from the south. It's kind of like booted feet.
Probably not a fox.
Let's look.
So coming towards you, you see three figures. Uh, uh, One is a woman who is a woman who's wearing a red blazer. Um, it's a woman who's wearing a red blazer with a black doublet with gold buttons, and kind of black dress pants. There's a man who is wearing grayish, kind of drab robes. They kind of look like monk's raiments, kind of very simple affair. He's got silver hair that's kind of almost like it's like slicked down, like not slicked down like with like any sort of product, but slicked down with like grease, like kind of stringy. And there's a man who, and the third one's and the third person is a bald headed man who has kind of has a very white beard and piercing blue, like icy blue eyes, and he's wearing like a gray or a dark brown tunic or a dark brown like tunic with like a light brown undershirt. They have the look they look like they are so they're walking towards you in a measured pace. They don't look like they're in any particular hurry, but they've see you.
Do they look familiar at all? What are the chances somebody has seen one of these people? If we've not seen them, then surely they haven't seen us before.
I would say Ura and Gage. Well, Ura and Sakshik certainly wouldn't have seen them.
The Raymonds look familiar then?
One looks the one looks like they're dressed kind of like
Part of some organization or country.
Yeah. Well, based off of their eye color, so like one thing that most people would know is that like benders like of like nations have like people in the water nation tend to have blue eyes, and waterbenders have blue eyes. Right, firebenders have kind of reddish or brownish eyes. And earthbenders tend to have green eyes. So one of them has blue eyes, and the one wearing the red blazer has red eyes, and the one in the monk's robe has brown eyes.
Okay. Do they look like they're looking for something or someone? I don't know if there's like a equivalent of an insight check.
Yeah.
Rely on skills and training.
Yeah, maybe.
That's basically rely on skills and training, I think. So yeah, you could make a rely on your skills and training look to try to roll or check to try to ascertain that.
Or assess situation.
Assess situation is more. That wouldn't be quite right in this scenario because that's more like I when you have like no idea what to do.
Uh-huh. Well, that's me in this game, but
I think you could probably assess the situation if you could get some insight on who these people are. Seem like that would be the next step.
You could do that, I suppose. Like
because assess situation is like, what is the biggest threat?
Yeah.
Not assuming that they're threatening, or what should I be on the lookout for? Like, it would seem like your skills and training would make sense. Like right now, just like, hey,
yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
All right,
guts.
Let's roll.
Yeah, both of them would work. So yeah, whichever one.
Well, I'm gonna assess the situation because. Oh no, wait, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do the other one. I forgot. Hold on, let me double check my stuff.
You are an old man. So.
Yeah, hold on. Because this is a creativity roll, which I got a 0 on, but rely on skills and training. I have a 2 on the focus. So
you could.
So I would go for that one, I guess. Rely on my skills and training.
Okay.
Your years
to assess the situation. And so what we got.
So, it says you gain.
That's an 8. That's a partial success. So, or a hit. So you So what were you trying to ascertain? Sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, trying to determine if they're looking for a specific person or are just perusing.
Yeah.
So some kind of insight.
Yeah,
you're
insight is their goal. If I could just assess by their demeanor and by the way that they're walking.
yeah. Um. So yeah, you're able to you as they're walking towards you, you catch the one wearing the grayish robes, just looking right at you, like unblinking, just you know staring straight at your direction. You see the woman with the red blazer, kind of looking around, like kind of eyeing the shelves and not really stopping to look at them, but just kind of checking out some of the titles as they're passing.
Mm-hmm.
The person with uh, the blue eyes, who, by the way, is massive compared to the other two. He's a solid 6'5", um, whereas the others are closer to like 5'7", 5'8". So like he kind of towers over them.
I'm a hunched old man.
And he's also quite jacked, like barrel chested.
Mm,
Clearly pumps weights.
right.
And he doesn't look interested in books at all. Like he
Look at
looks like he's
the
like
buns on that. Yeah,
he
he
looks
must work
really
out.
annoyed to be here.
Yeah, I'm reading. Cool. Okay, so they're
my assessment of the situation is that the white-haired feller is he the one in the middle, like sort of like V-shaped, leading the phalanx.
He is leading the chevron formation.
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. So I'll just like whisper, put that book away. We got company.
Yeah, I put the books away.
And I'll pull up my gourd, take a swig as he approaches.
So when you put the books away, where is
I just close them.
Okay.
We don't need to be like hush.
Okay.
Let's fucking don't make it obvious.
Okay.
Otherwise, what are we doing here? Is there like a quick book that we could just grab?
Oh yeah, you're surrounded by books. You could just take
Like
one
that
off the
they
shelves.
wouldn't see us grab one.
Well, so the one is locked eyes on you.
On me, right?
Yeah. So like if you were doing stuff now, unless you were like went to the side, you could you could go to the side and like one of the other shelves that's not in the line of sight. So like they're coming from this direction, like
That side of the wall and everything, or
yeah, they're coming this way.
Okay.
Towards you, so you could go over to like this shelf and grab a book or something, because then you wouldn't really be in line of sight.
I'll just take a drink from the gourd. Just a little swig.
Hey, a man after my own heart there. He fortifies himself for social encounters by drinking. There you go. I'm among friends.
I got it's like held right under the cheek. I did take a small swig just in case I need to like and just like spew fire. I know they said no fire bending, but you know, shit happens sometimes. Accidents happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take what I'll do with that. How big is that diary?
It's about the size of the size of like a moleskin. So,
Okay. I will close that and then I will reach over and grab a book off the shelf, like something much bigger than the moleskin book, and slap it down and open it up. And then I'll reach in to get my multi tool out and flip around. And I've got like a huge monocle thing, like a magnifying glass. And I'm doing this, try to read.
nice. Okay.
I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm just sitting here looking around, looking back at those two and looking at the three. And what? Huh?
As long as they don't look familiar to you. Like they're not coming after you and not us, but
Yeah, he looks clueless. Like, huh? What?
unless these guys really didn't like that I peed in that plant.
Yeah. They're the gardener. That's the gardening crew.
Yeah, the
The
groundskeepers.
groundskeepers.
They really spring for groundskeepers here.
Right. We just did the pH test. It was off.
They had enough technology to have sensors in there to detect the change.
Yes.
I'll just be like, listen, I asked. It said it was okay.
Silence is consent. Never mind.
Are you gonna do anything else before they come? It's they're probably at this point like 20 feet away, so you could do something real quick, but like
I don't
No,
imagine I'll be able to do anything. So yeah, I think he's got. We're taking care of as best as we can.
okay.
Seemed a short notice, so
Yeah. And so they come up. The one in front approaches you and is smiling, and he says, "Just show it again." Wow. Visitors to the library. You don't see that very often. Is this your first time here?
Now I'm getting suspicious of her. I'm looking at him like,
I was like, yeah, I've been here once before, I think.
Oh, you must be.
I'll pop up and sort of get in the guy's face. It looks like I'm just being, overly socially inept to say, "Hey, that's cold. You work here? I could use some directions."
Oh, we do not work here. We are researching. We're putting together an autobiography of Kyoshi. And
Yoshi, who's that?
Avatar Kyoshi.
Or would it be like saying, would it be like saying, who's Rocky or whatever? So Kyoshi was one of the avatars, right?
Yeah, I think Kyoshi would generally be known. Like, people would
Okay.
generally know who Kyoshi is. Because there's a
Um,
whole, like, warrior cult dedicated to Avatar Kyoshi.
Okay. That's like, I mean, it's not like, that's weird. I mean, this is spirit realm. Isn't most of this stuff about the spirit realm? Wouldn't you go to his people if you wanted to know about him?
The Avatar is the bridge between the spirit world and the material world. So, one must explore both aspects to get the full picture.
Oh man, you a
He-
scholar? I mean, the robe and all of that. The robe and all of that. Nah, you talk all fancy. You some sort of scholar?
Of a sort. Very, always very interested in learning and keeping an open mind, attaining new knowledge. It's knowledge that sets us free, after all.
What exactly are you looking to be set free from?
Many things.
Well, that's a long. That Avatar's from a long time ago. More so by your standards.
And that is true, but because it is for so long ago, that you find that the information that you tend to get tends to be watered down and facts are mixed up and you don't get the real truth. You just get collections of stories that all contradict each other. So this work we're setting on is to be the authoritative book on Kyoshi, at least for our time.
Once he says research, I look up and this is the dude that's like 6'5", right?
The one that's speaking is the one. It's one.
Oh, my bad.
Is this one who's about 5'8".
Okay, my bad. So how tall is Yale?
Oh, he's a little scrawny. He's looking up to Mr. 5'8" by an inch.
Okay. So all right, so I can kind of, so I've got my little magnifying glass. When I kind of look up, I'm watching him. As soon as he says the word research, I start studying his mannerisms
Okay.
as this interaction continues.
For the next 10 minutes.
I'll peer over to the woman. Her clothes seem probably quite modern, I would guess.
Yeah. She looks like she's show her picture again.
I have her picture, but yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she is definitely more finely dressed than most people that Ura has run across in the Earth Kingdom. Yeo, you would recognize this attire as Republic is like pretty common in Republic City, especially among the nobility or the richer, the more affluent people. um, Actually, message coming your way.
I'll definitely tell this guy something though.
You said coming your way. Should I be looking for something?
Yeah, I'm typing up a message. I'm gonna send it through Discord.
Alrighty.
Message sent.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not highly familiar with Discord. Where should I be looking?
This is through Foundry. I sent it through Foundry again. I tend to try to send messages through Foundry because then the chat log is like, it's like part of the chat log, and I can like review the chat log.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Or received and understood, but I'm not sure what to do with it right now.
I'll just tell the guy, well, that sounds pretty fascinating, I suppose. Good luck.
You must be researching things as well. What are you doing here?
Well,
Maybe we can
nothing
help.
so interesting, I promise you.
Oh,
Listen. I've been here once before. I owe a little bit of a debt. I plan on repaying that. That's our main goal here.
and you roped all of these others into helping you pay your debt.
They're just friends, helping me out. What else are friends are for? You have friends? What do you mean? Sure they are. Are they working? That seems rather boring. Just to escort you to a library.
Yes, they are helping me out.
This one doesn't seem like he wants to do any research. Just looks at the big one.
He turns towards you. He's like, I love research.
Well,
I love research.
you should
20
smile more.
kilos at a time.
You should
Yeah, right.
I read a lot of books. I just can't
Well,
remember.
good for you.
I just can't remember any of their names right now. But I've read them.
I'm proud of you.
Yes.
What's your name, son?
Atka.
Atka. What's your favorite thing you like to read?
I'm very into reading about technology.
Ah, okay. Little attendant. I'll just like to see if I can call over one of the fox spirits.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to hail a fox.
I want to, if you could help my new friend here. He likes new technology. Perhaps you could find him a book. And I'll just sort of like lean in, kind of whisper, with a lot of pictures.
It nods and then it looks at Atka and just kind of it's like glaring back and forth, like glancing back and forth between you, between Ura and Atka.
Go ahead. It's okay.
And
I think you know what I mean.
Specifically, give me any books you have on automobiles.
Oh, he wants to drive.
No, they're the bane of our world. They must be stopped. They must be destroyed. That's quite enough. It's quite enough. So,
That's not where I was expecting that to go.
So, in general, the Red Lotus is sort of anti-tech, right? Because that's not harmonizing with the spirits, right? But not specifically. They're not specifically anti-tech, but they're generally so. Would that be a fair statement?
You're. I think that's reasonable based on what your character would know.
Okay. Okay.
That they are typically like pro spirit, anti establishment, and like generally tech is anti spirit. Like it's at odds
Right.
with that. So I think that's fair based off of what you know.
Okay. I'm not gonna. I'm just trying to fit things in, not doing anything with that at the moment. So I'm just looking back and forth between these two, and it is percolating through his muddled brain that both sides are being sort of cagey. They're not really talking about what they want to talk about. They're trying to beat around the bush. And he's like, uh, uh.
I'll just I'll just be like, yeah, well, good luck. Like I said, I owe the owner of this establishment a bit of a debt. I do plan on paying it back.
What did you do to owe Wan Tong such a debt? It must have been great.
Well, apparently, again, I don't remember this. I burned part of the place down. I wasn't alone, but I regret it nonetheless.
Fascinating. And he looks at you. It's like, firebender. That makes sense. I'm assuming you've learned to control the flames through as you've aged.
Nobody controls it better than I do, I tell you that. You're master of many a technique. If I do say so myself.
His eyes, you can see him visibly smirk, and he like darts a glance over to the woman.
I'll wink at her.
My, you are cute, aren't you?
Yes, of course.
My name's Yuka.
Yuka, that was it. You're from Republic City.
I am.
Cool. That's where I last remember being. Did you get here the way I did? I mean, not, blackout drunk and falling in the middle of the library suddenly, but I guess what I'm asking is there a way back?
Well, sure. We can bring you back. How does one end up blackout drunk in the spirit library? That's curious.
I don't know. It was this one, I think, and he fishes around in his saddle and holds up a particular bottle. Blue Fan. I mean, tastes like engraving acid, but boy, it's got a kick. You want some?
Oh,
It's good stuff.
you don't want to see me drunk. That wouldn't be pleasant for any of us.
Pleasant for any of us or the library?
Yes.
Well,
so you made
seems like you need a thing. Seems like you need a little bit of schooling.
Apparently, I do.
Okay, I step out between the line of the when that line is there. I just like his head steps around and he steps away. Like, oopsie.
Certainly not in here. I shan't make the same mistake twice.
That would be very wise. Speaking of
Comes with the
schooling,
age.
have you run across any books on Kyoshi? The foxes have pointed us in this direction, saying that this particular wing had some had some books on the subject, so we didn't expect to find anybody else here.
Well, that's not what we're looking for, so I haven't been looking for that. But good luck.
I hope you don't mind me us just perusing the shelves in this area.
Sure, we can move our table. It's fine. Here, help me pick this up. Just lick the Zokja. Move the table. Let them have the space.
Moving the table. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at the map here. It's rather tight in the area, so I figured we just kind of like
Yeah.
shift it, move it someplace else.
Shuffle it. Yeah. Okay.
Because I saw that you would put the book down over the other one, so I don't want to like move the books and them see it.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, don't mind us. Hopefully we won't be here long.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
Will do.
I don't know anything. That was even before my time.
Your time?
Yeah.
What are you, 70, 80? It's long before any of our time.
I just said it was before my time. But my time was before your time. It's complicated.
Curious.
Don't you worry your pretty head about it. Move this table out of the way.
It was, again, looking back and forth, like, something I'm missing here. I mean, he just looks puzzled. Like, what?
And I'll look to you like, bring your drink, come on. I want some more.
Sure. Always happy to bring my drink. Pull something out of the sack. Take a slug. Anybody want some?
So yeah, when the dude with the brown eyes and the smirk, as we're moving the table, if he moves past me, I will look him in the eyes and say, I was like, what do you really want? And I want to roll suspicious mind.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, man. Whew. Solid roll. Let me just refresh what Suspicious Minds tells you. So you get 2 hold, and oh yeah, you get basically 2 questions. So one of the questions
Right.
is, what do you really want right now?
Yeah.
Put that in chat just so others can look at it.
Okay.
I'm looking for a particular book written by a friend of Avatar Kyoshi. They were good friends once. Their name is Yoon. I was told that I was informed that there was a diary somewhere around here, and it mentions a dark spirit that Yoon communed with, and I'm very interested in it.
And what are you about to do with that information?
I'm looking to try to find a way to avoid it being killed again. And like when he says that, he looks at you. When he's looking at you, like he's still smiling, but his eyes are like a raptor's glare, just digging daggers into your soul.
That seems very specific. I'll let you know if I find anything related to this Yoon.
Please do. And he will go about, like now he will go. He will go. Like he will peruse the shelves behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And so many tabs. He peruses the shelves behind you, and is like looking through them. But you would notice that like every now and then he like glances over at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other two start looking around at different books. The big guy is just pulling books out, and then as soon as he opens it up and flips through and doesn't find any pictures, he puts it back.
Did the fox spirit give him that book yet? Go find him something yet?
It hasn't returned
Okay.
yet.
Keep an eye out.
But after about 5 to 10 minutes or so, like the fox would come trotting back with a book on automobiles, and hand it to him. It is it is called Turf Wars, Automobiles for the Triads. And he's flipping through it, and there's like all sorts of hot rods in there. And he's like, oh, I would love to kill that one, and destroy that one, disembowel that one.
This one has flames. It must go real fast.
I grab a random book, not leaving my stack too far behind.
I'm sitting there.
And hand it to Yayo and say, go bring that. I think this might be what he's looking for. Go hand it to the guy with the brown eyes. I can't think of it. I don't think I asked for his name.
We never get his name. So
right. So I said, go hand that to him. Clearly, it's not something he's looking for, but it's a random book.
Okay. I'm not even gonna look. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't even get your character's name, Pete. So
Sakshik.
Akshik.
Yep.
I'll wander over to the guy in the robes, brown eyes. Go. Yeah, Sakshik said it might be this one.
And as soon as he does that, I want to rely on my skills and training to slip that moleskin up under my cloak and stick it in like, how you stick a book in like your waistband.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to do.
Okay. So he takes the book and he pulls out. It's like the Lost Scrolls, the Earth Kingdom. This is okay. But yeah, make a rely on your skills and training roll.
my assistant somewhere. Yeah, you got it.
Nice. Yeah. So you're able to do it perfectly. So you slip the book into your pants, and it's hidden. It's not like a square.
Right.
A square on an awkward like.
Stand up and it's obvious.
Yeah. You don't notice anything.
It always looks like that.
He starts flipping through the book. He's like, this isn't remotely close. But thank you anyway. And he hands it back to you, Yale. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Yale Deal, but everybody just calls me Yale because only my home village can pronounce the name right. So, oh, sorry about that. I took his word for it. And I sort of flipped through the book. I didn't even read it. Sorry about that, dude.
And he turns and looks up at you, Asakshik, and he's like, "Did you know?" Well, pleasure.
Oh,
The pleasure is mine. I am Wei Chi.
Wei Chi.
wait.
And
Okay. Okay.
you are in Republic
That's,
City. We could certainly certainly bring you back with us if you're looking to get home.
well, actually, I sort of volunteered to help these guys, but if you could just tell me, that would be fantastic.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, in order to traverse the spirit world, you usually have to have either been here before, and then even then you must have a guide. Something must have guided you here. Without them to bring you back, it would be quite difficult. I don't think you would manage on your own.
huh. I look at those two and go, "Oh, you guys are leaving sometime. You could pop me out, right?"
Yes, yes, yes. We're getting ready to check a different section of this library. I think we've exhausted all the resources here.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I've been here. This
I
is
look,
twice now. I'll help you out.
I look back at Wei Chi and go, "Yeah, so I think my new friends are good, but thank you for thinking of me. I don't see that much. Don't see that much in the upper class."
Oh, I am. And you look at Wei Ji, and he's the one wearing the drown like the gray robes. Oh,
Yeah.
I am no I am no noble person, I assure you. I am just a humble researcher.
Okay. No, 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 no. Not hearing it. You're a humble researcher who's hanging out with the daughter of the mayor and a world class bodyguard. Yeah, right.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. That was damn rude, wasn't it? I shouldn't be doing that. Here, have clink, clink, clink. Here, have a drink to make up for that. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have called you out like that.
What are those drinks?
he just like looks down at it, and he says, I don't think so.
I
Even the mayor's daughter can have friends from varying stations. And
That's true.
and
I mean, I'll look at, I don't want to talk about the lady in front of her back, but so I'll talk to her in front of her face and look over at her and say, "Yeah, you have a reputation as a hell of a firebrand."
I I don't know where people get that idea. Usually people are quite nice to me. Maybe there's been a couple arguments or disagreements on occasion, but Firebrand would be stretching the truth for sure. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I hope we don't get into any disagreements. Um,
Range threat.
Oh, interesting. You can move your icon. You can move your icon on the map by the arrow keys. I was trying to use the arrow keys for something else, but it moved my icon. So just fair warning.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't dream of disagreeing with you. I thought I thought you'd be proud. Oh, sorry.
I it is okay. I get a little. I find the characterization just a little offensive. But it's a common misconception. I'll let it slide.
Well, far be it from me to put out a lady, and he will do a extremely awkward bow. I mean,
Stumble.
who is the real what's her name?
You
Who
got.
is the real Yuka? I mean, what should I be complimenting you on?
Well, I'm uh, I'm incredibly funny, intelligent, uh, always sticking up for those who are down, and you may be aware of my mother's platform. It was very anti-establishment. I find that she goes, uh, she's she's not anti-establishment enough.
Whoa.
That's the qualities I prefer to be remarked on about myself. We're gonna make real. I strive to make real change in the world. That's how I met
Oh,
Wei Ji here. He has an interesting plight, and I think I can help him.
oh, fantastic! A pleasure to meet you. I will do another awkward, obviously not something he does often bow.
Very nice. The pleasure is mine. Well, if you happen to see any more books on Kyoshi, uh, please let us know. We'd like to be able to continue on the autobiography or the biography as soon as possible.
Bring me more drink.
Oh, drink to that.
Uh, so Peter or Sakshik, make me a rely on your skills and training roll.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah, so you get the sense when you're talking to them that like they're not gonna let you go. Like they're not gonna necessarily let you off. They're not gonna like. They're gonna continue to engage in conversation with you and like watching you as long as you are here.
Right, right.
And you also don't get the sense. You also get the sense that you're not sure what they're gonna do when you leave. like whether they're going to follow, whether they're going to stay in that spot and continue researching, or move to a different section of the library.
Okay. All right.
So you stashed the book, right?
Yeah.
The diary. I'll just take the big book that you were reading. Like, we're going to a different section. All right, I'll put this back. I'll shut it, and I'll meet you over there. And I'll just go to like put that on the shelf, someplace. I don't know. If is this a library that they tell you to leave it on the table, or
It is because the knowledge keepers organize the books,
Right,
and they
right.
didn't want.
Well, we moved the table, so I got to put it back in the section at least. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Be helpful.
Yeah, that's fair. So when you guys were here, so you're looking around. There's like these center stacks, and that's kind of where you're at right now. And then there are like 4 main wings that kind of go in each cardinal direction. So you can go. I would say, like, as you're walking around, you would see that. Hold on a sec. So there is, as you're walking this direction, you so I would the north wing is the wing of fire. You'd see above each of the arches, you would see different symbols. So you'd see like the symbol, like a flame symbol of like the Fire Nation over the north arch here. You'd also see a symbol of one sec. What would that be? You see a symbol of a gear next to it. So there's like a flame and a gear. You see a wing, walking around. So it takes a bit, but walking around, this wing would be the wing of earth. This would be the wing of water, the southern wing, and the eastern wing would be the wing. The wing of sky, wing of the sky, and it's got the symbol of the air nation, or the air nomads, kind of the swirling winds. It's like three gusts like that, look like 3 like whirls of winds.
What's the western wing again?
The western wing is the wing of earth.
Okay.
And the southern is the wing of water.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And on the northern wing with the gear, there is also with the fire and the gear. You'd see signs that say wing of technology. That would point you in that direction as well.
Okay. So I will like lead everybody all the way to so I guess I can move my little guy. I'm gonna walk down here. and listen. Just kind of look back, make sure the group is following me, and see if the other group is following me.
Okay.
How do I scroll? How do I scroll around this map, or can I?
I right click and drag to move around.
Right click and drag? Oh, that's
Yeah,
weird.
hold right, yeah.
Is it right click? And left click and drag.
What?
Yeah, you can left
If
click.
I left click and drag, it just draws a box.
So when same for me. Maybe it's browser dependent or something stupid like that. Whatever.
You using some fucking Mac or something?
If you're holding if you grab your token, you should be able to move it, like left clicking it and trying dragging it around.
Oh no, I'm
Well,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
moving.
Dragging that part's around. That's easy. We could use arrow keys for that too. So
Yeah, arrow keys are
As long
generally just easier.
as long as it's selected. If it's not
Right.
selected, arrow keys don't do anything.
So yeah, you guys would, as you're like walking away, and walking down to the south, they like you're looking back and they're still at least paying attention to the shelves,
Okay.
those shelves that they're at as they're perusing the items.
Okay, so I'm gonna scoot all the way down to the south there, and then move past the stacks and tell everyone that I don't think that they intend to let us leave.
They can't see us right now, right? Yeah, what we need. Let's leave.
They intend to make sure that the Dark Spirit is not killed.
You guys are trying to kill it? I mean, wouldn't driving it off be enough?
Again,
Well,
right? Sounds like it could be revived. Well, it is a spirit. They're difficult. They are rather persistent.
Yeah. And hey, I hate to talk about killing spirits, but this one's. No, if the rumors I'm hearing are right, and some of them are crazy, it's messed up too many common men. Now, if it showed up in the nobles wing in the Republic, who would care, right? But yeah, he's a little anti-establishment. But okay, yeah.
We're just trying to make sure that people aren't getting killed.
Yeah, I'm all good with that. That's cool. That's a worthy cause. You know, survival's always a good thing.
Now I don't quite specifically remember how we sort of traveled after we hit the portal.
Yeah. So so the way that you travel through the spirit world is that you picture in your mind your destination, and you basically will yourself there. So like it's because it isn't like physical like the material world. So you get around by like
thought. Yeah, pure thought. Yeah.
So that's how Ura like also helped that he had been there before. So,
right.
So he could picture it enough to get there.
Right. So I was somehow helpful in getting everybody here. And they had never been here before. So maybe I can also be helpful in getting us all back out. And Should we go back to the village? I'll whisper it technically, but stay quiet. We're in a library after all. Gotta be quiet.
What do you know about removing books from the library?
I don't know.
Did they say anything to us about that when we first got here?
They didn't.
Maybe we can find Wan Shi Tong.
Or maybe you can just go for, how many ways can I piss Wang Qitong off? Never mind.
Yeah, you guys could.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you guys could ask. Wan Shi Tong would definitely be someone to ask on that.
Yeah, but that may delay our escape.
Yeah.
Well, we could just take the book. We could leave the book and just hide it somewhere. Or we could take out the pertinent pages that we feel are important and tear them out of the book and then leave the book.
Well, the hiding, I don't know if will work if the spirits are always attending to the place. Unless you could somehow throw it on top of one of these shelves.
Well, I was thinking of just pulling a bunch of books out and putting it facing this way and then putting the books back behind it.
The books are lopsided enough where that could be done.
I don't know if I want this person to have this information. They seem to be up to nefarious intentions.
Yeah, I mean, we can't guarantee that the fox spirits won't just innately know where the book is and be able to direct them.
Why don't we just make our way to the exit? See what happens.
I think we can exit wherever we're standing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let us go then.
Sakshik, you would turn around and you would not see them standing in that corner anymore.
Oh, like peeking around, they're not there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm thinking, Aura was here one time and he burned half the library down. I think if I take a book, I think I'll be okay. I mean,
just another strike on my record. I'm going to leave a note.
IOU.
Yeah. I tell everyone to be ready. They have vanished. I'm going to listen. I'm listening out for any footsteps. They were wearing boots before. Maybe their boot falls will give their position. Oh, I know what I'll do. I've got my little oh, cool. Yeah, I've got the folding cup that I opened up and I listened at the door with. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to go and lay on the floor and listen on the floor for any, if I can hear any, vibrations or anything.
Oh, you're thinking they're tunneling. Cool.
Or
at
just
least
kind of
hear the vibrations on the ground, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe, okay, we're stepping, or just stepping, right.
Yeah. Did you say you were putting together a
Well, I have a folding cup, that, and you fold it out.
Yeah.
That I listened at a door one time. I'm going to do the same thing and listen on the floor.
Gotcha.
So Is that a roll or?
Yeah, that would be a rely on your skills and training.
Right up my alley.
Nice. So you put the cup to the ground, and you hear you hear kind of the vibrate. You feel the vibrations of like the boot steps, and it sounds like there are footfalls that are coming from multiple directions. You hear one coming. So you hear some coming from the west. It sounds like there's some away to the north, and some away to the northwest.
Time to leave, I think, huh? No
Which
time
one
like the
do I
present.
think is the closest?
The one's coming from the west.
Okay. So the one coming to the west is the closest.
Yeah.
And I will reach in my little utility belt and put my hand on a smoke bomb in case I need to use it for our departure.
Yeah, I don't know what I might need to do to like direct them through this process of leaving here and getting back. But I was just like, all right, guys, listen up.
All right.
I am your guide.
Oh boy.
I've only had a couple of drinks, so we'll be okay.
We should be fine.
I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
Mm.
So.
Geez, Dustin, you didn't tell me I'd have a like mind in this, or a like character in this run.
You'd be okay. So, or are you? You should be at. Are you at center?
What? I don't know what that means.
You are.
Is that a diamond in the center? Yes.
Yeah.
No, your circles in the center.
No, I am +2 towards experience.
Yeah. So
Oh, oops.
you get. You get a.
That should help me, right? It's experience, you know.
You have to be. To travel the spirit world. It is beneficial to be centered and completely balanced.
Can I? Is there a way that I can shift myself closer?
I think one of us has to help you, right?
You can. You could do like guide and comfort. Is it guide and comfort that?
I think so.
Yeah, that's for another person, though, right?
Oh, sure. Let's see.
Oh, that's not to shift
No.
balance. There are the balance moves.
Could I potentially just live up to my principle? Does that work? So to take the action based on that instead of something else?
That would be. No, that wouldn't apply towards this particular move. That would apply to like the basic moves or like the playbook moves. And that like lets you use a different modifier, like the modifier for your balance modifier
Right.
instead of that.
So if I'm making a suggestion, I think that as he's trying to reach the balance, I think Yayo could help him. Maybe offer him some of his drink or something to help him get to his center.
Right.
at least help him with the roll. I mean, I'm kind of preparing the smoke bomb, so I really can't do anything.
Yeah.
I would think, I'm like,
So I'd say like for centering for Ura, that would mean shifting towards humility. So
Right.
if Ura was going to do something that would, if Ura did something
Mhm.
that made him, that humbled him,
Well, just coming here humbled me. I'll say that.
Having to pee in a potted plant? That wasn't. Never mind. That doesn't count.
No, that probably doesn't matter.
no.
I was a soldier.
Gotcha.
Probably peed into worse.
peed in so many ditches,
Yeah.
dug so many latrines.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we didn't. I don't remember doing. I wasn't sure how to manage that anyway, because I had it wrong in the first place. When I was doing my shifting stuff, I was doing the other one instead of the circle, so I didn't know how the fuck it was working to begin with. That's.
But yeah, you typically shift your balance one at a time. So since you're at 2,
Yeah.
you know, I'd say you could do something humbling.
Well, okay, so then perhaps this will fulfill that. I had intended to do it anyway. I was going to leave a note saying, "Hey, we got to take this book. I'll bring it back plus more."
Okay.
That is the Ura promise.
The Ura promise.
You could take that all the way to the bank, just as good as money.
Where are you gonna leave the note?
That's the tricky part. I was originally gonna, because it would be still. I'm just thinking of it like almost as an episode as well.
Yeah.
I thought it would be funny if I like scratched it into the side of a bookcase.
Yeah.
Sorry, got to take the book. We'll bring it back plus more. Ura.
That's fine. Are you gonna say which book you took?
No.
Okay, good.
All right, I will say that I think that is humbling. So yeah, I think you can for that sounds like a balance shift. So that would put you at +1.
Okay. Inexperience, -1 in humility.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. At home. Just the moment he's like, "Well, you burns this place down." I'm like, sorry.
So you'll get a +1 to your 2d6 roll for
All right.
because well you are the guide, so I think that's I'll give you the +1 for that.
All right. All right. So it's just 2D. Can I just
Can
roll
Yayo help or do the help move?
2d6
We might need it.
plus that's +1.
+1, yeah. So that's 8.
Now, so I don't know. I don't remember specifically how I got this, but I had it.
That is in with respect to a combat exchange.
Specifically for that?
Yeah, like that is.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, those statuses are like for the particular scene that you were doing it. Like you would you would take the prepared status for you would have the prepared status if like somebody's coming down the hallway and like you set a trap down. Like then like that would be prepared for a strike or something.
Okay.
But yeah, the prepared status ends when the context for the the preparedness ends. So like if you set the trap down and they like go around it, like you don't get the prepared status. You know, you don't
Got
get
it.
the +1.
Okay.
But
I don't know why I still have it then.
yeah.
I'll just take it. There we
So you are picturing the spirit portal, right?
go. Right.
Yeah.
Back at the village. That's the easiest place to go back to for me.
Yeah.
It's closest in the memory.
You picture the spirit portal in mind, and you start moving through. Uh, moving out of the spirit library, um, and you as you're exiting, your concentration falters a little bit, and you are sort of like the world is moving around you, and your concentration falters, and you are going over fields, and then you end up in a forest,
Okay.
and like you didn't quite get there, but you can see it in the distance.
Okay.
And I think that's a good spot to take a quick 5-minute break. You're in a forest. You can see the light from the portal kind of like above, like kind of a little bit in the distance, like you're like on a knoll, and so you can see it off in the distance, but you're looking around, and the trees are dark, and uh, you see some spirits kind of eyeing you. Some of them appear to be dark spirits. They're taking the form of like snakes flying, snakes kind of wriggling through the air. Um, they've got red eyes, and they're coming up on you. um, and as they get a couple feet away, uh, a figure appears. A figure appears, and he says, "Oh, lost travelers in these woods. You don't see that too often." And when he appears, as he makes his appearance, the dark spirits flee. They turn and fly back into the cover of the trees. So he's standing here. He's got a large white beard. He's wearing green robes, that like are of the Earth Kingdom, and have like Earth Kingdom sigils on them, and he's holding a lantern, like a gas, like a kind of a oil lantern. What strange travelers are lost? What are strange travelers doing in these woods? It's easy to get lost in the spirit world, you know.
Oh, just passing through. We know where we're going. It's right over there.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I have some I have some I have some friends not too far away. We were just enjoying a nice game of Pai Sho, and we have a lot of extra food and drink. I always enjoy sharing tea with new friends and potentially new companions. Would you care to join me?
I'm looking
I
at those two. I don't know. I'm looking at those two. I was like, I just met them, but he's even stranger.
yeah, I don't I don't know myself. Like how likely is it that those folks from the library were able to follow us?
Hmm.
Is that a skill
Yes, that is skill.
that yeah.
So I would think that I don't know if I don't know if Ura would know.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's perfectly legit.
Yeah.
um then yeah, I was like, well, I don't know if we might be followed. We might be in a bit of a hurry.
Well, nobody comes into my glade without my expressed expressed permission. So if you are in truth being followed by someone, I wouldn't think that would be a concern of mine.
Uh, yeah, he appears. He doesn't look like he's a spirit or anything.
No, he appears corporeal. Um,
Okay.
so he has a kind look about his eyes, like uh,
Well, I usually do too until go to hurt something. Then that fiery passion.
then it kicks up.
Temperature, yeah, starts to rise very rapidly. Um, yeah, I don't know
But
if I feel like we could trust the guy. So
it's fair. Um,
like I can tell I recognize this as a character from the show, but I don't know that.
actually, Ura, you would recognize him because
Oh, would I?
Ura, yeah,
Okay.
because he used to be a general of the Fire Nation army. So you would absolutely recognize him.
Okay.
So you would know this as General Iroh,
um.
and
Okay. Well, then
he.
I would probably go about this conversation completely differently.
Yeah, sorry, I should have.
Well,
That I
well,
should
then
have.
again, you could have just realized it now.
Yeah, I mean, was he always this old? I guess. Could I not tell who he was because he's aged since I
Yeah,
last saw him? I don't know.
yeah, he looks a little bit older now than he did when you knew him,
Uh,
but
because yeah, I kind of remember imagined my own character being somewhat old before going into this place in the first place.
yeah, so he
Um,
would have been a general while you were serving for sure.
okay, I'll just like squint at him like, hold on, I don't know what is there a salute?
There is a salute.
Whatever the salute is, I do.
Yeah.
General?
At ease, soldier. Did you?
I don't know what I know of him. I guess
So you would
as
know
my time.
during your time. You would know that he was. Uh, he was considered disgraced by. So he was a very popular general, and then he uh, he fell out of favor with the Fire Lord Sozin, um, and or rather Fire Lord Ozai, which is his brother, and then so he spent a lot of time with the warrior Prince Zuko, and then he got back into favor, and when you would end up looking upon him favorably, like
Okay.
as a he's been through a lot and he did a lot for the Fire Nation, so
Yeah.
you would end up, despite what public opinion changing over time, you would have an overall favorable impression.
Cool. Oh, then I'm like, well, I couldn't possibly turn down a drink with the general, so I'm gonna go.
Wonderful. I always enjoy sharing a cup of jasmine tea. Will you be joining us? Oh, what are your companions' names? I am Iroh.
Well, I don't know what rank I would have. I don't know what rank I would have had whenever I was in the army. Uh, former whatever rank. Ura, son of Rago. These are friends. Sakcha, and a new friend. Yale.
Does my
Oh, and I guess is Gage with us? I guess.
Gage is with
Yeah.
you guys.
And then Gage. He's a quiet one right now, contemplating, I guess.
And you look around and you realize there's no Zhizhen.
Okay. That guy, that little kid, was always so hot-headed. It's okay. He'll be fine.
Biography won't write itself.
You'd
Let us
think he
get
was
some
from the
tea
Fire
then.
Nation.
We'll gladly take some tea. We could use a rest.
Indeed.
You look weary. Come to my table. We shall take refreshments, and hopefully you can provide better competition than some of the spirits in a lovely game of Pai Sho.
Totally play him.
So you're with him, and he holds the lantern up, and it brightens, and and kind of this a big ball of light comes out, then goes back in, and you're sitting in a glade with picnic tables lined across it. It looks like it's surrounded by a forest. It's bright and sunny in contrast to the dark forest that you were just in. And sitting at the different tables, you see a number of spirits, and in front of them, they appear to be eating. Some are eating. Some are playing Pai Sho against each other. But they all have cups of tea in front of them. And that's where we can wrap up for tonight.
Okay.
So this could be a good. I think this would be a good place to ask more, or you could ask more, or at least when if hopefully Kurt is able to make the next session, and then like he didn't get the chance to ask things in the spirit library, but maybe there's some things
that
that
makes
they could help that would be similar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
All right.
let's go through the questions really quick, or the growth questions. So
Are these on the character sheet or not?
these are on the furthest right tab, details and growth.
I see. Growth questions.
So, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Me personally, yeah, I've never been here before, but the character, um, I would say he really had no idea how to get to the spirit world before. Oh, now that he has gotten away from it the right way with a guide, that's something sort of exciting for him. He's been to the spirit world, and he now knows how to get out. At least if he has a guide.
Yeah, I'd count that. That makes sense.
Okay, so I tick off one of these growth things.
Yep.
Okay.
Ura and Sakshik.
Um, I don't get growth the same way, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I forget, Tony.
Well, different people have different growth questions.
Oh,
That is it's just Ura's playbook. It's the Elder playbook is different because like they've already
Okay.
experienced, they've already grown, so like their growth is different.
Right. I start off with like more mastered skills and shit like that, like hence the old man.
the only thing I can think of is the lore that we learned from the diary. I don't know if that counts. If that would be
Yeah, I mean, I think that counts.
okay.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I mean, the three people were sort of a threat. We didn't really stop them. I guess if they're looking for the book, technically we stopped them so far. I don't know if that.
I wouldn't be claiming that one either. I wouldn't be claiming that one either way. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It's kind of unresolved.
it is unresolved. So, I think,
And
yeah, I wouldn't count that one.
and I did end the session at center, so
Nice. And did you nobody guided yeah. Nobody's balance really shifted. So if you had center, well, Ura's shifted.
I did, yeah.
But
So
other
the
than
question
that,
only counts if you shifted.
no, if you end at center, so you should get a growth. You get a growth.
yeah.
Growth
Okay.
mark for that.
Easiest little growth mark ever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And did you pursue a desire or goal of your? Oh, that's like that. Now it's your playbook specific growth question. Which I think, I think, Yale, you succeeded in that one. Which is, did you
Well,
get?
actually, the last growth question for Yayo is: did you get a friend to join in or approve of one of your bad habits? And I was drinking with Ura a lot, so.
That counts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Absolutely.
an enabler.
And Sakshik, did you pursue a desire or goal of your own outside of protecting others?
No, I would say no.
Okay. So yeah, when you get four growth advancements or growth checks, then you get a growth advancement. So and they carry over to the next session. So um, if you didn't grow this, if you didn't get a growth advancement this episode, then you'll get one next time for
Cool.
Cool.
And then
Well,
then when it happens, you just choose which one of the
Yep.
4 to 5 things to do.
yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
All
Well,
right. Sounds good.
thanks for playing. How did you
Yep.
guys like I was trying to figure out a way to like not to like tactfully do a lore dump.
It's
And
tough. I know.
yeah, like so how did how did that work? Or how do you feel that worked?
It got it got the
Yeah.
point across. Um, I mean, for me, if you did it between sessions and said, "Hey, that you guys find this," close the session with, "You guys find this. Please read it before next session." I do it, but eh, I've met other players who that wouldn't work for. So making sure you got it in was, a bit tedious, but it definitely got the job done.
Yeah, I was debating that, and I was originally going to do that, but I figured
I
then
mean,
I would have to like go through it anyway because
Mhm.
then you call
Right.
it like specific details and it's easy to like gloss over things and
Right.
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can always recruit somebody else to try and read it dramatically for you.
that is true.
Ah, that's an interesting one.
I listen. I read to my child pretty much every night. I'm used to it.
Cool.
It's an amusing thing that I can do. I can in fact read dramatically. I can read dramatically backwards. Another very unnecessary skill.
That's
Right.
that's good. That's a good idea. And
I'll read it forwards for you at least.
thank you.
Oh,
Ne-
oh, thanks.
next time that next time I have something like that, I will think of that. Keep that in mind.
Do a dramatic reading. There you go.
Yeah.
From the book of you.
I'm always the one that's doing it, like for anything that we have around here. If we're playing a game and like there's this like flavor text or something like that, they're like, all right, here you go. All right, here we go.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for playing.
Yeah. Thanks for running.
It was
Yep.
fun.
Appreciate it.